Hey, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a track review for you guys. So for this review, I'll be reviewing the latest song by Sevendust, Fence. This will be on their new upcoming album that will be released this year, which is definitely exciting. I mean, I would say that we are due for a new Sevendust album, so it does make sense for Sevendust to release a new album this year. And I'm kind of optimistic about it. But before I go into the song and talk about the song in of itself, I kind of want to go over my history with Sevendust because I do realize that this is a band that I don't talk about much on the channel. So I actually got into Sevendust around when All I See Is War came out. And I think that that is a very strong album. And obviously, it's a good album if it's good enough for me to get into the band and make me want to explore the band's discography furthermore. So I do think that that album is really good, and I honestly would go as far to say that it is one of their best, and it's at least the best of their recent work. And I know that I'm not alone on that because others have said the same thing as well. So yeah, I've explored the band's discography. I think that they made some very solid music. Lejean, I think, has a very good voice, very talented guy. Even the musicians behind him, I think, do a really good job as well. A very talented group for sure. So it was around 2020, 2021, around this point. This is kind of where I stepped away from Sevendust a little bit. And I think part of the reason for that is because of their last album, Blood and Stone, I think it's called. That album to me was just a little underwhelming. Not that it was a bad album necessarily, don't get me wrong. Actually, I think the album is solid for what it is. But I don't think it's anywhere near one of their best or anything. Honestly, I thought the album was a major step down from All I See Is War, and because of that, I felt like that was one of the reasons I took a step back from Sevendust. I kind of stepped away from this band for a little bit and haven't been listening to them as much or appreciating their music as much because of that misstep that they had. And again, I think it's a solid album, but it really doesn't compare to their best work. But of course, you know, not every album has to be perfection or anything, but when comparing that album to All I See Is War, it just, well, doesn't compare. So this is one of the factors that kind of made me step away from this band for a little bit. But you know, when I heard that Sevendust were coming out with a new album this year, 2023, I thought, you know what? This is a good time to give Sevendust another go. You know, this new album could actually be a step up from Blood and Stone. I mean, we can only hope, right? I mean, it basically seems like they can't go anywhere but up at this point. Now, obviously, I hope I don't stand corrected, but we'll just see what happens with this new album. I mean, I hope it'll be good. I'm sure we're all hoping that it'll be good. So obviously, when Sevendust releases the singles for this new album, we'll have either hopes or worries for this new album. So we'll just see how it plays out. So we did get a single from Sevendust's upcoming album entitled Fence. So what do I think of this track? I think it's a good song, but it is basically what you would expect from Sevendust. I mean, it is basically just another Sevendust song. And that was my initial thought when I first listened to this song. It's basically just another Sevendust song. I mean, I like what they're going for here. I mean, when I listened to the song, it did kind of give me vibes of their early 2000s albums like Animosity and Seasons, which I think are really strong albums. You know, it kind of sounds like something that would be maybe in like the first half of the Seasons album, one of the heavier tracks on that album, you could say. And because of that, I kind of have some appreciation for this track. Now, I wouldn't say that the song is amazing or it's mind-blowing or anything, but it gets the job done. And, this song, it does show that Sevendust are still capable of making good music, but I just think that this song should have offered more. This is my complaint with a lot of bands. A lot of bands, I don't know what it is. They just stay in their comfort zone and they're too afraid to think outside the box and branch out. There are bands that I know that need to do this, that need to do stuff different, because, you get this feeling like, okay, well, why listen to these new singles from this band when it sounds exactly like a lot of the songs from their last release, And I hate, when I get that feeling sometimes. Like, what makes this stand out from what they've released before? You see what I'm saying? And that's really my main complaint with this song, is familiarity. So, yeah. But all in all, Fence, it's a good song for what it is. I mean, I don't think that there has been a bad Sevendust album, so I'm sure that this new album will be good at least. But will it be a step up from Blood and Stone? Again, we can only hope. So this new song, Fence, I think it's solid for what it is. Again, not amazing or mind-blowing or anything, but it's good. It's a solid Sevendust song. But again, it is basically what you would expect from Sevendust. So if I were to give this song a score, I'll have to give this song probably maybe a 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid song, but again, familiarity is basically my main issue with it. But for what the song is, it's good. It's a pretty good track. So let me know what you think. Do you guys feel the same way I feel? Are you looking forward to the new Sevendust record? Feel free to let me know. So on that note, thanks for watching and have a good one.